Hi.
Hi.
What up, dude and dudettes?
Today, we're gonna be making some bread. To be even more specific, we're gonna be making Parker house rolls. And they're gonna be pillowy and buttery and fattening, and you're gonna be filled with deliciousness and guilt, but the good kind of guilt. The story goes, they were invented at the Parker House Hotel in the late 1800s, and a very angry cook got fed up, like we all do, and just threw the entire unfinished dough in the oven, and the rolls all kind of crunched on themselves in the oven, and they came out this lopsided shape. That gives them like an exterior that's slightly crunchy, but an interior that's folded in and soft and pillowy. Perfect for breaking in half, putting butter, jam, whatever you want in it. Super simple. Evaporated milk, condensed milk, active dry yeast.
Yeast.
East. I can't hear the difference. East and west, and east and bread. They're the same word to me.
Butter, softened, all-purpose flour, kosher salt, and some egg wash for later. We're gonna bloom the yeast. We're gonna mix everything in the mixer. We're gonna let it proof, punch it down, shape it, let it proof again, and bake it. We are going to warm our evaporated milk, which you need to shake well. So shake it well, because you don't want watery on top and creamy on bottom. We're gonna take some evaporated milk and we're gonna warm it in the microwave just until it's slightly warmer than body temperature. 1 cup, 257 grams for those of you who are counting. We're just gonna need about 10 to 15 seconds. If you don't have a thermometer, it should just be slightly lukewarm. And if you put your finger in it, it should feel like a little warm bath that you want to soak in. It's not quite there yet, so 3 more seconds. All right. Then we're gonna put 2 tablespoons of sweetened condensed milk. Most recipes call for sugar or honey. I like sweetened condensed milk because it has that creamier, I don't know, it's just a more complex, rich sweetness to it. Put some yeast in there, give it a gentle stir, and then we're gonna let it just sit and proof or bloom for about 10 minutes until it gets slightly foamy. My trick is to put it back in the microwave you just used without punching in any time, because that's slightly warmer than room temp usually because you just used it, so it'll bring it up a little bit faster. So now we wait. It's been about 10 minutes and it's nice and foamy. That's what you want to see. There's like little tiny air bubbles on the surface, and when you lift it up, it looks like foam. That means your yeast is alive and well, and you are free to proceed with your recipe. So just give it a stir, pour this in, get every last bit of it out because you want all those little yeasty boys to go in there.
Can you have a ticker of every time that you say yeast?
Philip, put a ticker on for yeast. Yeast. Okay, so very quickly, going into the bowl, your yeast mixture, your flour, and we're gonna put in 2 teaspoons of kosher salt right now, and we're just gonna let this go very slowly on low. Take a linen, go ahead and just dampen it a little bit, and place it under your machine so that it is resting on a little kind of like
Friction.
wet barrier of friction. Thank you, Chelsea. So that once you turn it on, it can't make its escape and it will forever be your slave. Yay. So after the dough comes together with just your yeast mixture, your flour, and your salt, you're gonna plop in 4 tablespoons of room temperature butter and just let it go and combine again until it's smooth, supple, and pulls away from the machine sides. It's probably gonna take around 10 minutes. Once you see the dough start to come together like this, I would start increasing the speed to a medium. And when you lift the dough hook, it should all come off in one piece. If there's still dough around the bowl, it's probably not quite ready yet. See? All one piece. That's what you want to see. And then we're going to transfer it to this bowl to proof. I like using a clear glass bowl because you can see the proofing progress. We're just gonna butter it really quickly. What I like to do, tuck it under with my hands to see if there's been enough gluten developed. You should start seeing like there's little gas bubbles in the dough. I like seeing that. That means that you've worked the gluten to be strong enough that it can trap air instead of just breaking as soon as you're shaping it. So I just like to kind of tuck the dough under itself like that so that you're getting a nice smooth top and it's pretty tight on top. And then once you got a nice little round ball, nestle it, cover it, and put it in a nice warm place and let it go for about an hour to an hour and a half until it's doubled in size. So see you then. It's been about an hour and 30 because our room's a little bit chillier today, but you can see it's doubled in size. And as I was saying earlier, really love glass bowls because you can see the progress on the underside. You can see the gas bubbles. That means your dough is growing. Okay, flour your surface, not too much, not too little. Gently turn it out and punch. Are you in slow-mo?
No, you want me to?
Yes.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else?
So we rolled it out to about a 1/2 inch thick, and we see that there's some nice bubbles here. Delightful. That means your gluten is strong enough to trap all those gases. We like that. And now we're gonna punch it out using a 2.5 inch round cutter. We're gonna yield about 15 pieces in the first roll, and then we're gonna re-roll it and maybe get some more scraps. So you really want to avoid twisting the cutter because that'll seal the edges and make it that much harder for the bread to come up. So what you want to do is with your random flour on the surface, just dip your cutter in the flour before each cut so that it doesn't stick to the dough. Punch down straight and lift up. One of my favorite things about punching out doughs is you get to tessellate and see how well you can do. How many rounds can you get out of the first try? Because the second try of dough is never good. You know, you gotta deal with the scrappy bits and you don't want to re-roll it too much. So let's see how we did here. I think I can eke one more out. And they don't have to be perfect because remember, the cook was angry. And those rolls sure were not perfect. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We don't even need to re-roll. That's all we have room for. I'm too good at my job. So I got a 9x13 baking pan here. You can also use a 9x13 cast iron if you like a crunchier bottom. They get toastier and there's more of a variation in texture. I'm a sucker for soft, pillowy bread. So I'm gonna use this non-stick version just so that the bottoms don't get too crusted. 3 tablespoons of salted butter for flavor. And we're gonna melt that very quickly in the microwave so that we can brush it on the bottom and the middle of the rolls. All right, so your butter is nice and melted. And we're just gonna brush about 2 tablespoons down below so that it bakes into the crust of the rolls. This makes sure that your rolls will not stick to whatever pan you're using. I'm using salted because it gives a little more flavor than unsalted. We will be dusting the tops of these rolls with salt as well. So if you want to cut down on the sodium, you can use unsalted butter. So much butter. We're gonna make the signature Parker House roll indentation and fold. They kind of look like messed up rolls because the cook threw them in the oven and they kind of just bumped and folded. Today we're just gonna be using one of these metal straws that nobody really wants to be drinking out of, but always buys because they feel better about it, to make our indentation. If you don't have one of these metal straws, you can definitely use a chopstick or the round handle of a wooden spoon, whatever you got that will help you press this line into your bread without cutting through it. You definitely don't want to cut through this. We're gonna be brushing the remaining tablespoon of butter on top. This will help them be tastier and help them stick to each other. And now, if you have any extra butter left, that's where it goes. Give it a brush. Now we're just gonna arrange the rolls neatly tucked into their resting place, you're gonna fold and do a gentle squish to help the two halves stick. And now they're all folded. We're just gonna place them into the pan. So we have 18 plus 2, that's 20. That's about 6 to 7 per roll. You don't want them to be too far apart because I like the parts where they proof into each other, and then when you break them apart, you get that nice look into the interior as they bake. Okay, so we're gonna cover these again and let them rise until they're doubled, about an hour. If your room is warmer, it might be 45 minutes, so just start checking up on them about half hour through. Once it's wrapped, what I like to do is just write the current time on here. So it's 11:08, and that way it can help us track how long they've been proofing. Usually it shouldn't be over an hour, but it might push to an hour and a half. It's just a way for me to remind myself. Okie doke. It's been an hour-ish, and they're fully proofed, and you can see that they're starting to touch butts with each other. We like touching butts.
June.
And to see if they're ready to bake, you just poke them a little, and they shouldn't bounce back. So these are definitely ready to bake. They feel very, very ready. I'm just gonna brush them very lightly with an egg wash, and then we're gonna sprinkle some kosher salt on them, or you can do Malden if you're feeling fancy. I'm not feeling fancy. Egg wash, 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of water, thereabouts. And then just make them glossy. Salty tops, buttery buns. We're gonna go in 375 preheated for about 25 minutes until they're golden and delicious. See you soon. All right. It's time to look at the rolls. The beautiful golden, salted, buttery, shiny rolls.
Dude.
They smell great. Soft, pillowy, dense but light, salted, shiny tops, and doughy interiors. Look at all that gluten strand pulling apart. You can eat them plain. They're delicious, well salted, a little bit sweet, super buttery, or you can serve them with even more butter. You can use jam, but I know some of you were thinking when we were making the dough that, June, really? You made me open a whole can of condensed milk and you're only using 2 tablespoons of it? What am I gonna do with the rest of this? Well, I don't know if you guys grew up eating this, but I put condensed milk on my breads.
I don't know how I feel about this.
You don't have to feel anything about it. You just have to eat it. Condensed milk is so much better than butter. It's so much better than jam. Not to shade on these 2 things, they're great. But there's something about condensed milk that really brings it back to childhood for me. And it's just a very fulfilling level of sweetness.
Well, do you want me to try the...
Turn off your brain and just eat.
Oh, it's good.
Let me know what you guys thought of this recipe. If you're gonna bake them for Thanksgiving, if you guys like them, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you want me to make next time.